Hello everybody, my name is Chy Bunni and welcome to the Bunni Den! In today's video, we are actually going to be working in my bullet journal once again, but this is the cover page for my 2025 bullet journal. So I didn't realize that I didn't record the filming of me doing the line art for these bubble designs, the everything inked already. So that is my bad, but you get to see me color everything in and do the line art and everything for the lantern that I did, which the lantern actually has a funny kind of nerdy niche, whatever. Not nerdy if you... Let me explain. I play Love in Deep Space, and most girlies will know what it is. I know pretty much every guy that I've ever seen or talked to about it despises it or says, like, rude things about it. I don't give a shit, so deal with it on your own time, but the lantern that I did and drew was based off of the lantern that I made for Silas during the Lunar New Year's event, and Silas is my favorite, so yeah, it's based around the lantern. I'll show a photo. And since we're talking about Love in Deep Space right now, I get to go on a little bit of a tangent. It's Silas's birthday. And you know who hasn't gotten a freaking birthday card? You know who hasn't gotten the 5-star pull for it? Me. I have literally 10 pulls away from getting the pity, but I don't know if I'm going to lose the 50-50 or not. And I swear, if I buy a thing for 10 pulls and I don't get this Silas birthday card, I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind. But I could just save it and, acknowledge that I didn't get his birthday card, which he's my favorite. I want his birthday card. But, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. If I pay for this 10 pull, which, again, I'm 10 pulls away. If I pay for this 10 pull and I lose the 50-50, Caleb's becoming my freaking new favorite. That's it. I'm done. Goodbye, Silas. But yes, when I was doing this cover, I wanted something super kind of elegant, pretty, and it was right during the Lunar New Year's event. I did this a little late, but I couldn't figure out what I really wanted to do for it. And when I got the idea to match it with the lanterns that I got made for Silas and everybody, I was like, heck yeah, this is perfect. It's fancy, it's nice, it's elegant, it reads 2025, all the things. I really had a lot of fun doing this. And I even got to use my colored pencils that I almost never use. I figured since it was going to have something behind it, I couldn't use my markers, which I really wish I did because colored pencils are not something I am used to, but it is what it is. Also, just a little bit of a kind of apology or whatnot. I am sorry that this is filmed at a different angle than what I am actually currently used to, and being at my desk. I had a really bad flare-up day with all my chronic illnesses, so I needed to be in bed, but I really wanted to film and I wanted to work on this cover, and so I was like, you guys are gonna have to deal with sometimes me filming in bed and getting the background and seeing how messy our room is and seeing Sanji, who is the gray pitty who walks around in the videos. He's my boy, he's my boyfriend's dog mainly, but yeah. So a big apology, but it's like a cozy, relaxed chit chat with me and kind of draw. So bringing back up the colored pencils, I have almost never really used colored pencils, so a part of me was like, I didn't know how to properly work it, and I'm more used to working with colored pencils to kind of add on top of marker details, which still I'm very new to, but I think that is a much better use, in my opinion, for the colored pencils. But I just am not used to colored pencils, and these colored pencils were not soft. They weren't like watercolor colored pencils, so they were harder to work with, and I struggle with wrist strain when I'm drawing, so it was a struggle. But I personally think these turned out really, really cute, and like it reads lantern, you know? Also, I have just now realized there's a looming Fuecoco just staring at us while we're he's background ambiance, if you will. So as we're starting the line art for this lantern, I do kind of want to talk about doing line art in general and like how that kind of feels for me as an artist. So I get super, super nervous to do line art. Like I mentioned before, have chronic illnesses and it makes my hands super, super shaky. So I have had to learn to kind of be more gentle with myself when it comes to this, because I know that if I mess up and it's due to just like my shaky hands, that's not something I can really control. But taking my time and making sure that my lines are something that I'm well aware of where it's gonna go in advance. That's why a good sketch is important. But yes, I get super, super nervous when doing line art and almost can, like, I don't know, I don't breathe when I'm drawing the lines, and I have to have a good pen that isn't like a typical fine liner, because I think typical fine liners for me, they're really hard to control, like if I want to make it a lighter line or a thicker line, because they're all one size. It's 0.5, 0.8, XYZ. So I've been using brush tip kind of pens, but they're very small brush tip pens, and they're actually meant for calligraphy, but I've been having a lot of fun using them. Also, pretty much all of the art supplies that I'm using, minus the colored pencils, are Ohuhu. I always use Ohuhu fine liners, calligraphy pens, and markers. I'm definitely not sponsored, but I love them so much, and they are an affordable version of a Copic. And if you've ever worked with Copics, you know how buttery smooth and XYZ. Again, I feel like I'm being sponsored. I'm not. They haven't paid me. I just love their shit. Excuse me. See, that's how you know I'm not sponsored. They wouldn't allow swearing. At least I don't know. But, yes. Ohuhus are just really, really great fine liners and markers. I am not using an Ohuhu journal, but both of my actual sketchbooks are Ohuhu brand, and the paper is just really good quality. Of course, I have their new marker pad that's like it doesn't bleed at all with their markers, which I have yet to fully try, but it is a really pretty sketchbook and I cannot wait to start it. But I just almost never have the time to sit and do a full drawing, which I've dedicated that pad to be a full illustration sketchbook, because it's not like this journal or my normal sketchbook where you have spreads. It's more it's a ringed notebook. So I feel like with those, they're better suited for like a portfolio style thing where you're one piece of paper and one illustration. Not English is hard and it's my first language. My mom did speak Spanish pretty much all the time, but I don't know it, so I can't blame that on my lack of speaking well. See? We have an emote in my Discord server, and it says, I can't type, or typing is hard, and frankly, I really, really think I need a speaking is hard emote, because I think that's perfect for me. But right now, I am going through and adding gold detailing, because I added the gold detailing in the lantern, and I think it made it super pretty. The lantern in the reference photo is gold, so I wanted to make sure I added that aspect, and I love gold accents literally freaking everywhere. So if I can get the gold aspects in parts of my illustrations, I always tend to. I am currently going back and forth between the piece that I'm working on and this piece of paper that I've been using as like a palette almost, because I'm working with paint pens, and not only do they need to be shaken up constantly to make sure that the paint's good, you have to kind of refresh the nib with paint, and these metallic ones are known to be extra dry, so you have to redo the paint on it constantly. So I usually kind of shake it. I make a mess on the paint palette that I'm using with whatever I'm doing, so that way I can kind of use the paint pen as a paint brush. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but paint pens, definitely the gold ones and everything, they're so hard to use. But I do like this detail that I added where I made the corners into little stars instead of keeping them as corners of the paper. I don't know why. I liked the red. I definitely liked the red in the corners, but I liked having more of the gold aspects. I did this at such a weird angle too. That's funny. But here is the final piece of my 2025 cover for my bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!